What's up? What's up? What's up? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Hit the like button. Sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Shout out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball and boxing community. In this case, we are talking hoops. I'll give few seconds for people to roll up in here, and if not, you know my style. I'm gonna go ahead and keep on rolling. All right. But we definitely are going to talk about this. No BS in this conversation. I really want to really dissect it to a T where you can understand what I'm saying on this, okay? Because um, I know about this season very, very vividly, and I was also explained about this topic, especially as I got older. Um, but I'll give, like I said, I'll give people, a few to get up in here. I also want to thank all of my subs that's been supporting me, that's been rocking with me, that's been showing your love, everybody, man. And like I said, man, we are in a construction phase of everything, but look forward in the near future for a lot more things to come. Like I said, man, you got to tear some shit down in order to build it back up. Okay, so like I said, man, just keep on rocking with me, man. We definitely gonna do this thing over here at straight to the point, sports and ENT. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Please hit the light when you come in here. Hit the light. Um, hit the light when you come in here at the top three dots. Please hit the light. Oh, okay, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk about this. You chime in when you feel necessary, but I'll go ahead and I'll talk about this. Um, Shout out to everybody, man, that's already talked about this topic already. It's been an ongoing topic, and basically, uh, Nick Wright had got on his platform and have basically called out some statisticians saying, noticing that the numbers were inflated for Michael Jordan in terms of his steals numbers, on the road. Well, they did his steals numbers on the road, and then of course they did his average number of steals and blocks at home. And what they noticed is that the steals number at home was slightly higher. Nevertheless, man, to get right to it, a lot of people have been coming out on record to basically say that, question that Defensive Player of the Year award that Jordan won in the 1987 and 1988 season. Okay, now we have to remember, man, like going into that when when Jordan was playing in that season, guards during that period of time, they they were noted more for stealing the ball and of course playing the passing lane, things of that nature. But rarely did you have a guard like a Michael Jordan that was capable of being able to block shots like he at the rate that he was doing it, because uh, from what I know, he averaged about 1.6 blocks for that season. Matter of fact, I think he had like it was, man, I forget the amount of number of blocks he had, but I just know the average that he had. It was 1.6, and then it was 3.2 steals. Not to mention, he was averaging nearly 6 rebounds too as well. Sorry about the noise, y'all. You got the little ice cream truck. Um, Here's my thing, right? The reason why a lot of people want to take this away, for one, man, you got a lot of LeBron fans that's feeling kind of salty. You know, they're like, oh well, this doesn't make uh, Jordan the GOAT and all this other stuff. What, taking the defensive player of the year away, defensive player of the year award away? Even if you take that away, you still got to remember that not only in that season did he win defensive player of the year, but if you take that away, he still averaged 35 points. Okay, getting aside from the defensive player of the year award argument. Not only did he win defensive player of the year, okay, he had won MVP too. Okay, and you have to remember that this guy, he was scoring 35 points a game. He was shooting and going to the paint altogether at 53.5 percent. Okay, not going to talk about the 3-pointers or whatever. But he was, like I said, he was averaging like 6 rebounds a game, nearly 6 rebounds a game, nearly 6 assists. What's up with it, Brown Sugar? I see you in here. So, and then also what you have to understand is he was playing over 40 minutes a game. I think he averaged 40.4 points per game, and on top of that, to pretty much put the icing on the cake, okay, Jordan played all 82 games. Okay, matter of fact, that was his either second or third season in a row in which he had played all 82 games. Okay, because I know it was that year we got to take into account one of the years he did get hurt. So I think it was the second season in which he had played 82 games, 81 or 82 games. Okay, so what I'm saying is that even if you take that defensive player of the year award, the people that, they want to sit up here and they want to cry and whine about and bring up all these stats and all these other relevant stuff, even if you take that away, he still would have made all defensive, he still would have made one of, the all defensive team, NBA all defensive team. And on top of that, he still would have been in running for the MVP. And then on top of that, he still would have had a chance for defensive player of the year. I would say possibly before his retirement, because let's just call it what it is. His second tenure, his second three-peat, when he repeated the second time, Jordan, he did start to show a little bit of slowing down. But like, if you're talking about like the 84 through the 93 season, I would say anywhere from, with the exception of that year when he got hurt, but even then he was still able to bounce back. He still would have been in running for a defensive player of the year award, because we have to also remember that he led the league in steals 4 times throughout his career. Okay, now as far as the GOAT debate and all this other stuff, it's very subjective. Everybody got their own GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That's just not going to end. Okay, some people got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they go. Some people got Dr. J, they go. Some people got LeBron, they go. Some people got Will Chamberlain, they go. Whatever. But you taking away the Defensive Player of the Year award, that doesn't really diminish his legacy at all. And I'm gonna tell you why. because that happened during the season too. And if we're gonna go there, then okay, if you want to go there, then let's take away the MVPs from some of these guys. Okay, does that take away from them being the GOAT? Does that take away, their chances of being the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? There's some people that have Kobe ranked high in terms of being the second shooting guard of all time, and he only won one MVP. But some people feel like he should have won multiple MVPs. But we all know the situation that happened. See, you got to put things into context, and then also, I think he would have won by a good margin because I mean, you had some good. I think the runner-ups were Hakeem Olajuwon and Mark Eaton, because then Mark Eaton, he ended up winning it. I think Mark Eaton won it the season before Jordan, and then it was Hakeem Olajuwon. I might be getting the order mixed up, but I know they were the runner-ups to Jordan. Then you had a couple of other guys that were starting to emerge. You had like the Alvin Robinson, some of those guys that played very, very good defense. But Jordan, without a doubt, man, he deserved the award because just as much energy that he was exerting on the offensive end and doing what he could on the offensive end, he did that on the defensive end too as well. And to be able to do that, regardless if it was 5.5, even if it was just 3.5, it don't matter what the number was. It's still amazing what he was doing. 3.6 steals. That's pretty amazing. And you're talking about a guy that really didn't foul out, even though that was a more physical error. So all this stuff about, oh yeah, this takes a hit on his legacy. Then they're gonna question all these numbers and stuff like that. Man, look, bro. Even if Jordan didn't even average, that much in terms of scoring pack, it was still his will to win, and that brings me back to the whole '96 finals and stuff like that. I've been on record to say once again that Jordan didn't play that well, especially offensively. But it was his commitment. It was his commitment to do other things. And who was leading the charge during that time in terms of defense? It was a guy like Dennis Rodman, because him and Dennis Rodman, they saw eye to eye. Even with Pippen, they all saw eye to eye. They were all locked in when it came to defense or whatnot. So everybody that's sitting up in here trying to diminish, what Jordan did, and oh yeah, he doesn't deserve this or he doesn't deserve that, still don't make no difference, and it still don't take away from the fact that he was still able to get MVP that season. Because do you have an argument for that? Now, I'm not trying to move the goalposts. I'm definitely not trying to move the goalposts, but we got to call it spade a spade. When you're talking about a guy during that era, well, really everybody in that era was supposed to play both ends of the floor. That's what you're supposed to do. It's sad that we gotta bring basketball to that. That's how you really supposed to play basketball. You're supposed to play both ends of the floor. But unfortunately in this era you don't have it as much. But back then, if Jordan was playing the style that he did now, you know what I'm saying, they would be calling him a two-way player. They would be looking at him as a two-way player and all this other stuff, which is really how you're supposed to play the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like that name, best two-way player and all that other stuff. No, you're supposed to play basketball the way that you're supposed to play basketball, which is to play both ends of the floor, and that's what Jordan did. And he exerted a lot of energy on there, and he made his energy work wild. That's why he was MVP. That's why he was Defensive Player of the Year award. And was on. Are we gonna? If we're gonna do that, if we're gonna go there, there's a lot of people that were sitting there questioning Giannis's Defensive Player of the Year award. There's a lot of people that were questioning his MVPs. You know, so just because it was Jordan, and I know it has a lot to do with numbers. It's probably, people are, a lot of people are pissed off, and people want to use this as any type of leverage so that they can say, "Ha, see, I told you he's not the GOAT. I told you he's not the GOAT." But don't make no difference. It's not going to change anybody's opinion. It's not going to change my uh, my philosophy and my theories, and also my positioning in terms of having Michael Jordan as a starting shooting guard, because I still have him as a starting shooting guard. It's just like with the argument that I have with people about Isaiah Thomas and him only having 2 rings, and compared to Magic Johnson got 5 rings, and I'm having him as a starting starting point guard. I have my reasons, but one of the reasons why I do have Jordan at the starting shooting guard, because I like defenders. See, you have to go, if you go back and you go look, you you'll look at these guys like that played, I would say, in the 80s and in the 70s and stuff. You were taught to be a very, very quick defender, have very fast reflexes, be hand, to be able to play the passing lane pretty good, and be able to be a lockdown defender. Jordan was able to do that. Now, did he gamble a lot of times? Yes, Jordan did gamble a lot. He did gamble a lot. But his anticipation, like, that was part of his gift of being able to anticipate a lot. Because when you do anticipate a lot, of course you're gonna gamble. There's gonna be a lot of times when you do gamble. And I'm not talking about his off the court gambling either. For some of y'all that want to get in there and have your mind in the gutter, but I really do. I don't see any point to why taking away the Defensive Player of the Year award would diminish Jordan's legacy, or stop him from being in the GOAT conversation and all this other stuff. Because we also got to take into account too that that award hadn't been along. I mean, hadn't been there for an extreme amount of time. There were some guys like, I always go back to Will Chamberlain and all. Will Chamberlain. We'll just stay on Will Chamberlain. Had they counted, blocks and some of the stats that they did back then, and had they had some of the awards that they had back then, Wilt would have had it. Wilt would have had more awards added to his already records that haven't been broken, numerous of records that haven't even been broken. He would have just added to the amount of that. And why am I mentioning that? Is because if you take away some of the things that Wilt had or whatever, it still would not diminish his legacy because of some of the other stuff that he had. If you take away a Defensive Player of the Year award from Jordan, guess what? You still got to count the five regular season MVPs. You know what I'm saying? You still got to count. You're still going to have to count the Finals MVP that he has. You're still going to have to count the scoring titles. You're still going to have to count the titles. Period. You're still going to have to count the four steals steal title that he got, leading the league in steals. You still got to count the all defensive player. I think it was 9 times all defensive player. I'm going right off the head, y'all. And then 12-time first team all NBA. So, and then not to mention that, 6-0. And I don't like to use that old casual as argument or whatever, because everybody says that shit. But I mean, that's one of the things that you see. That's what I'm saying. He could do without the Defensive Player of the Year award. He could do without it. And on top of that, it's still going to be in the record book, whether you like it or not. Just like the bubble ring, it's still going to be in the record book, whether you like it or not. Just like the scoring title that LeBron got, it's still going to be in the record book. There ain't nothing you can do about it. What are they going to do about it? They're going to go back. They're going to be like, oh, yeah. It's just like, that's why I don't like to use that old steroid stuff against LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's one thing I will come on here and say. Everybody trying to say that he took stuff. Look, until you go to a court, until you prove this man in the Supreme Court or something like that, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Until you go and y'all go and y'all move to get rid of the Defensive Player of the Year award, it's still always gonna be there. All the people are gonna do is they're gonna be bitter about this. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to have 2, 3, 4 hour debates about whether or not Jordan deserves this or whether or not he's the GOAT or whatever. Man, it don't make no difference. Like I said it, I'll say this again. Whether you got Jordan as the GOAT or whether you don't have him as the GOAT, listen, I'm not going to lose any sleep. I don't know what's up. Yeah, so besides that, man, I just wanted to speak my piece on it. I haven't been able to talk about this because I've been talking about some other stuff. But y'all let me know what you think, man. Keep your comments respectful. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire Lions Den, basketball, boxing community. And I'm out.